Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be 25 books that I want to read in 2025. So I have made a slay little Google Doc here on my laptop of all of the books in no particular order that I want to read in 2025. Some of them are books that are just on my regular TBR that I definitely want to be getting to this year, and some of them are books that have been on my TBR for over a year now that I'm going to try to force myself to read. So a lot of these books on this list I own physical copies of, and a lot of them I don't. So for some of the books, you'll see I have a physical copy here with me. Some of them I do not, and I will put the cover up on the screen for you guys. So let's just get right into it. The first book that I want to read in 2025 is going to be Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I've heard so many good things about this book, that it is gut-wrenching, beautiful, just a great story about love and relationships, and I'm really excited to pick it up. It's about two people, and I'm pretty sure they end up trying to make a video game together. And that is the main premise of the book. I have this gorgeous Barnes & Noble exclusive copy with blue sprayed edges that I really want to pick up sometime soon. So this is definitely on my list. Continuing with gut-wrenching reads, I really want to pick up The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna this year. So this book actually takes place during World War II in Paris, I believe, and it shows the stories of two sisters who end up separated by the war. And I've heard that it's made many people sob, and it's also going to be a major motion picture soon, as it says on this copy right here. So I'm very excited to pick it up and read it before the motion picture comes out, and I'm just waiting until I need to be broken-hearted by a book to pick this one up. So this is going to be the second book that is on my list for 2025. On to the third book, which is actually part of an interconnected standalone series, Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've never read anything by Abby Jimenez, but I want to start here and I want to go into Yours Truly and then Just for the Summer. I'm pretty sure there are 3 interconnected standalone romances. That just feels like such a fun time to me, so I'm going to wait till the spring and definitely pick this one up. The fourth book that I want to pick up this year is actually not coming until August. I pre-ordered it a few weeks ago, and that is the third book in the Assistant to the Villain series by Hannah Nicole Mehrer, Accomplice to the Villain. I'm really excited to pick that up. I love the series so much, and I pre-ordered a beautiful copy with some sprayed edges to come right on release day on August 5th. So I'm super excited to pick that up on the 6th and get started and go back into that world. This year, me and Maria are going to continue our Harry Potter buddy read. So I have here Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is our next book, and I'm super duper excited to pick it up. It is a doozy, so we will see when this ends up happening, but it actually will probably happen in the next couple of weeks. So I'm definitely excited to pick this one up and get back into their world. The 6th book on this list I also do not have a physical copy of, and that is going to be The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. That is Holly Jackson's most recent book, I believe, and I've read pretty much everything else she's written. I've read all of Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Killjoy the novella, and 5 Survive. So this is all I have left, I think. I don't know, I'd have to go and look at her back catalog, but out of all of her books, those are the ones I see most often, and that is the last one that I have to read from her. So I definitely want to go and pick that up at Barnes and read that this year as well, because I just love the way that she writes thrillers. I think she just really grabs my attention with her writing, so I'm super excited to pick up that next book. Number 7 on my list is a book that I've heard so much about. I've heard it's heartbreaking as well. Me with my gut-wrenching reads, you know me. She loves to cry or be in love, and that's all she likes to do. Or she also likes to be stressed out by a thriller, actually. But the next book is If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. This book I've heard so much about, and I just picked up the other day this gorgeous Barnes copy with these beautiful designs and this gorgeous sprayed edges. I'm super excited to pick this up. I think the gorgeous special edition definitely talked me into finally picking this up off my TBR and getting a physical copy. This is just gorgeous. I love holding it. I'm very excited to pick it up. I do know it is going to be really sad though, so the cool thing about this book, what I've heard, is that it actually starts with the sad thing, and then the rest of the book is just everything that happens before it. So I think it's going to start with breaking my heart and end with my heart being even more broken. So then we're branching out here. This one is a book I have had on my shelf for a very long time, and I have not picked it up yet. I actually picked it up and read the first 2 pages and decided I did not have the energy to read it at that moment, and that book is going to be Wuthering Heights by Emily Bront. I'm really, really excited to read more classics this year. I'm hoping to expand my reading taste and make my reading tastes a little bit more sophisticated. So this is going to be the start of that, my first bigger classic. I read The Great Gatsby. I think I've read a couple more. Obviously, I've read some stuff in school, but this is going to be one of my first slightly thicker classics. I mean, it's not that long, but I am definitely a little nervous, but excited to pick this one up. The next book on my list is the second book in the Ruinous Love trilogy, and that is Leather and Lark by Brynne Weaver. That is the sequel to Butcher and Blackbird, which I have on my shelf back here, and I am very excited to read that as well. I've been kind of putting it off for a while because I want to get a book of the month copy so that it fits nicely on my shelf here with the first book in the series, Butcher and Blackbird. But I'm definitely excited to see the main characters banter again. The series is about two serial killers that kill other serial killers, and they end up falling in love, and I just thought it was such a funny and entertaining concept for a romance book, so I'm definitely excited to continue reading that as well. Now on to number 10. I actually received this book as a gift last Christmas, and I still have not picked it up. I have no idea why. I really, really should pick it up, and that is Elvis and Me by Priscilla Presley. This is such a sweet copy with this photo of her. This is obviously a thrifted copy. You wouldn't even believe how much this physical copy of this book cost, but I'm so excited that I own this and have this edition of it with this gorgeous photo of her on the back, and I'm definitely excited to get into her life story and read this memoir, and yeah. Then we have another romance. This is number 11 on my list, and that is Flawless by Elsie Silver. I really want to start the Chestnut Springs series. I've heard so much about it, and I thought there'd be no better time than probably in early spring, maybe late February if I can't wait any longer. But I'm really excited, and I just love the covers of these books. I think they're so cute and beautiful, and I can't wait to finish this and get into Wild Love as well. So I'm excited to finally be reading some Elsie Silver and to get that under my belt. Okay, the next couple of books I do not have physical copies of at all for the next like 10 or 9 books, and so I'm just gonna run through them really quick and tell you guys, you know, just a couple of words to let you know why I want to read it. So starting with The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I recently read 7-Year Slip, and then even more recently I read A Novel Love Story, and I absolutely loved both of those books. 7-Year Slip for me was an absolute 5-star. Novel Love Story is very close to a 5-star for me. I'm actually shocked it wasn't received that well. I loved the world building in that book. I loved it. Every night I was so excited to just jump right back into that world and see all of the characters again and just see what was going to happen with our main character. So I'm really excited to just read more in general from Ashley Poston, and so I immediately put The Dead Romantics on this list after finishing A Novel Love Story, and I'm super excited to go into that. Then another author that I'm excited to read more from, obviously Emily Henry. This year I am going to read Book Lovers. I'm really excited. I have been stretching out my Emily Henry reads because I just absolutely love every single one of her books that I read, and I'm always excited to pick up another one. So I actually have to hold myself back and save them for times when I'm about to start a slump or for when I'm really just craving a book that I know is going to hit hard. And so this year I'm reading Book Lovers, which I've heard is a lot of people's favorite, so I'm really excited to read that as well. Then for the past year and a half, I've really wanted to read some thrillers by Lucy Foley. So I have The Paris Apartment on this list. I've seen her thrillers in every single Barnes I've ever been to, and I always pick them up, always think about buying one, and then I never do. But I thought, you know what, this year is the year I'm going to read The Paris Apartment and check out her writing style and see if I like it. Then, continuing on the same thriller note, I have Final Girls by Riley Sager. I just really love the premise of the book. I'm pretty sure what happens is there is like a dangerous person and they're tracking down the final girls that were left, like the one survivor of the bad thing that happened, and they're trying to kill them. So I just think that's a really interesting plot. I feel like I did not describe it well, but basically the final girls, like the final girl in the horror movie, they're tracking them down, and the thriller bases around that and them. And I just love the idea of like final girl. I think that's like such a cool like concept. So I'm definitely excited to pick that up. And I love Riley Sager. I read The Only One Left and Lock Every Door, and both of those are almost 5-star thrillers to me. And I've just never had thrillers that shock me back to back to back to back like that until recently, reading Riley Sager and reading a couple other authors that I really like in thrillers. So yeah, I love Riley Sager, excited to pick up more of his stuff. Then we have another classic. This one is a modern classic, and that is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Chbosky? Am I saying that right? I don't know. But that is just an iconic book, and I've heard so much about it, and I just really want to pick it up to see what all the hype is about and to read a modern classic. I think it would be fun. It's also a pretty short read, so I think it would be really manageable to add it to my list for this year, so I'm definitely going to be picking that up at some point, a little out of my comfort zone, but not too much, so I'm excited to read that as well. Then, going into more authors that I just need more of, we have Meg Schaefer, The Lost Story. I have also heard people being disappointed by that book as well, but I do not care. I'm going to pick it up, and I will probably love it. I love Meg Schaefer's writing. I love her world building. She just has this, like, nostalgic way of writing to me that makes me feel like I'm reading, like, a Magic Treehouse book, and I love her for that. So I'm definitely going to be picking up The Lost Story this year. Going into some magical realism, I have The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. That is, I'm pretty sure, magical realism. It's about this woman, and she has an attic or something, and every time she opens it, like, a new husband comes out, and then it's just like, oh, she has this new husband. And I don't know, I know it's not really explained in the book, but I just thought that was such a funny concept, and I think that I would really enjoy it. Plus, I love the way the cover looks. I mean, it's right here on screen right now. I love the way these covers look. It's gorgeous. I just think it's really fun with the colors and everything like that. So I definitely want to pick that up this year. So then we have me and Maria finishing up our Harry Potter series. Obviously, I don't have the physical copies of those. We like to wait till we finish a book to purchase the next. So I have Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows on this list. I'm hoping that we can finish our buddy read this year just because I'm having so much fun with it, honestly, and I can't wait to get into the next book. Hopefully we'll get into it in the next coming weeks, so that will be fun. Then we have another Riley Sager on here. This is one of his most notable works, The House Across the Lake. I'm really, really excited to pick that up. I almost picked it up the other day, and I ended up picking up Lock Every Door instead, so I just can see myself reading that in the very near future, so I thought, why not add it to the list? So that is our 21st book on the list. And now for our last 4 books. Half of my leg is asleep and I'm trying to wake it up. Hold on. One moment, okay? Some more physical copies. We have 2 more physical copies on the list. We have Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I have this gorgeous copy of it. It's kind of a hardcover, but it's more of like a soft cover. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just gorgeous. I got this at the Strand in New York City, and I'm really, really excited to pick this up. It's a romance, it's a classic, and I'm excited to read some of Jane Austen's writing. I've heard so much about her, obviously. So that is exciting, and I'm definitely excited to pick this one up. Then we have my final physical book of the list, and that is obviously Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I've had this book on my shelf for so long, but I am waiting until it is the springtime to pick up this romance. I just feel like that is the time to do it, and I literally cannot wait to read this. This is a YA romance. I'm sure you've heard of it. The sequel just came out where the 2 love interests in this are in college, and I'm just really excited to read this. I know so many people love it so much. And I love movies. If you don't know me, I love movies. I watch lots of movies. I am an avid Letterboxd user. So from what I've heard, there's lots of movie references in this, and I think that will be really fun for me to read as well. On to our last 2, we have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is a thriller that has become a series, but I have some insider info that it's being made into a movie, so I definitely want to pick that up before the movie comes out, and I definitely want to read more by Frida McFadden. I just read The Boyfriend, and I really, really enjoyed that as a thriller in general. Her thrillers are just really fast-paced and really just grab your attention, and I really, really liked The Boyfriend, so I'm excited to go back to where it all started with her first very, very popular book, which was The Housemaid, from my knowledge. I'm pretty sure it was The Housemaid. It's the one I've heard the most about in general and the one I've seen most people read, so I definitely want to pick that up. Now on to our final book, okay? It's gonna bring me to my happy place because after Book Lovers, I want to pick up Happy Place by Emily Henry. I thought that was a fun place to end this list off on, just to let myself have at least 2 Emily Henrys this year, possibly a third. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm just really excited to read more from her, and I'm always excited to pick up her books, and I hope you all have the happiest year. So I thought it was a fun place to end off with Happy Place by Emily Henry, and that is going to be my 25th book of 2025. All right, everybody, that is going to be the end of the list as well as the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for coming with me to go through the 25 books that I want to read this year in 2025. I hope you got some good book recs, and I hope that you'll read along with me. Obviously, I'm not going to read them in any particular order, but hopefully we'll be able to check off all 25 before 2026. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and comment down below if you have any video suggestions, book recommendations, or anything that you want to tell me in general, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!